HBCU Overdrive is proudly sponsored by WeWorkForEverything.org. At WeWorkForEverything.org, this is for those who are trying to build for a dream with their latest hoodies, t-shirts, long sleeve shirts, and accessories and more. You can have it all here at a reasonable price. Black owned and operated out of the great state of New York. Like I said, get suited and booted. Check it out at WeWorkForEverything.org. Peace. What's going on, everybody? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? It's your boy Doc Holiday. We are back in here tonight for another episode of HBCU Tonight. We are on episode 54, halfway through to get into 100 other things. But if you haven't done it by now, make sure that you like this stream. Make sure that you comment, share. Most of all, subscribe to the channel. Become a member of the most hottest HBCU podcast that's out there right now. As you can see, my lighting is kind of a little bit dim, a little bit, but I'm blessed and highly favored that we are in the house that the Lord has made. Amen. So first and foremost, just like church, we got to give them announcements as always. Let me get rid of this banner right here. Make sure, if you are new to the channel, if you are new to watching this show right here, make sure you become a subscriber. All you have to do is just hit that subscribe button on the YouTube channel. Also, if you want to follow me on all social media aspects, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at HBCU_Overdrive. You can also follow me on Facebook at David E. Smith Douglas. That is my actual name, so everybody should know that. But always, I'm always going to be on Twitter, and I'm always going to be on Instagram, and I'm always going to be here on YouTube. So these are the places you can follow me at. Make sure that once you follow me, once you subscribe to the channel, let everybody else know about what you're experiencing over here. So you can let people know, like, hey, this kid right here, he got something going on for himself. But other than that, man, become an exclusive member, become a family member. As always, whatever you do, whenever you become an exclusive family member, you get all the membership perks. You get a hold to me as far as we need to go ahead and get people to come in and join the group me chat on where you can follow if you are a member, so we can get ideas of shows and stuff like that to come out. Because, like I said, your voice is heard. It needs to be heard, not besides just mine. And your money goes towards special things that we do with this channel, as far as sending, doing initiatives, as far as basically travel, as far as getting equipment to come up in here to the show. It doesn't go straight into my pocket. It goes directly towards the excuse me. It goes directly towards the show. It goes directly towards the channel. And I just want to reiterate that so people will understand. And last but not least, if you have, you want to, you can always send a cash donation to the Cash App. Also, at HBCU Overdrive, you can also hit me you can also, PayPal and Zelle. PayPal will be at David Smith 1925, and Zelle would be my email address, davidesmith30@gmail.com. That's where we get majority of our donations from. And also, if you want to do, you don't kind of trust that, you can always do the super chat. We always look forward to doing the super chat. Put your message in there, or you just send in the money, just like that. Right now, we have the initiative of basically getting enough money to get down to Tallahassee and back. So basically, it's for food and gas. I was going to end it tomorrow, but we're going to try to extend this all the way up until the weekend. That way we can try to get everything settled. I know it's towards the end of the month. I know Black Friday is coming up. There's a lot of shopping that needs to be done, but if you can help me out, I can give you all the content from the SWAC championship game in Tallahassee. At, everybody, well, it's everybody's expense, but it's always a thing for us to go down there, to go to places like this and try to do something with some good, because I do have investors that are literally talking to me about, different things and stuff like that. So, hey, Miss Veronica, how you doing? We got Ashton up in here. Got Chuck Hunt, Miss Mary as always from the 305. I know she had fun watching the Florida Classic this past weekend. But always, man, look, I just want to make sure everybody understands what's going on, and hope we get all the full support with sending us down to Tallahassee, y'all. And last but not least, we got birthdays. That's right now. We are about to be in Sagittarius season. So in fact, when I'm in Tallahassee, my little sister, my big sister, her birthday is on December the 1st. So big brother get to miss her birthday for a second, but she understands why, what I'm doing and everything. Like, the assignment is not done. So, but I still want to, shout out everybody that's got birthdays this weekend, next weekend, this week, today, whatever. So, man, if you haven't said anything, happy birthday to you from myself and the Overdrive family. Go out there and have a prosperous year, rotating around the sun. But oh yeah, Chuck said his birthday is on Bayou Classic Day, so I'm gonna give him a shout out for that day, as always. But anyway, let me get my banner back on here, y'all. Anyway, how's everybody doing today? How's everybody doing? First and foremost, as a Jacksonian, as a Jackson State alum, it is very crushing when we lose to our in-state rival, that school down Highway 18, aka Alcorn State. It's hard to lose against those guys. Hard to see them lose like that. But first and foremost, to both coaches, Coach McNair, Coach Taylor, both coaches, both teams had a tremendous season. Some with Coach McNair, some people try to write him off. And said that he was getting kind of up there in age. And with Coach TC, we all know the whole thing. Replacing 60 plus players on the roster, coming in with I wouldn't call it a makeshift coaching staff, but getting a coaching staff and with strength and conditioning and basically just trying to navigate the waters in the SWAC. And he's been in positions as a OC and as a position coach where he tasted the thrills of victory, and of course he's seen the agony of defeat. But you know, to have a season like we had, basically, of course, losing against FAMU in first time in 20 years, also losing against Texas State, big time, losing homecoming, and also, like I said, losing against our in-state rival, Alcorn. It was a trying time. It was trying times where you had some sort of dissension on the football team. We had issues with special teams. We had issues with basically tackling. We had, basically we had issues with the QB position. But all in all, how you doing, Amber? All in all, ending the season at 7-4 guarantees that my guy TC Taylor is one of the few first-year head coaches at Jackson State to have a winning record, and that basically deserves a round of applause. So, the best thing about it is you might not like the guy, but what he's doing, he's trying to get kids to understand that he's trying to win not only on the field, but make sure that you win off the field. Make sure you go to class. Make sure you are taking care of yourself mentally and physically, making sure that you are held accountable, show accountability in everything that you do. And basically, giving words of wisdom, because as a coach and as a former player, he has been there. He has been there. And even with Coach McNair, he's been there as a former player and as a coach. Starting off at Alcorn, being a QB, and then his brother taking over and setting all types of ridiculous records at Alcorn and on the FCS level, and basically just staying true to himself. And that's the reason why I like Coach McNair and I like Coach TC Taylor. I also like Coach Hampton from Arkansas Pine Bluff and Coach Eddie Robinson at Alabama State. Willie Simmons is a good, real good dude. He's been proven to be a winner. That man has not had a losing season. Even when he was at Prairie View, that man has never had a losing season. And to take that same mentality over to FAMU, where they were pretty much almost buried alive until he got there, going 6-5 his first season, and then going 9-2 the last 4-5 years since he been at FAMU. Kudos to Willie Simmons. There's for the SWAC, it's also the first time, I think I don't know if it's the first time in SWAC history, but it is a guarantee that every first year head coach had at least one win on the season. It doesn't matter if it doesn't, one SWAC win on the season. It doesn't matter. Coach Woody got a SWAC win. Coach Wade got a SWAC win. Coach Hamp got a SWAC win. TC got a SWAC win. It's guaranteed. Every coach, first year head coach, has a SWAC win under their belt. And it's good when you listen to these coaches where they talk X's and O's, but when you get deep down into the game about it, and just talk, you can talk situational football, or you can just talk life in general. It's kind of seems like they have an answer, but they got to do stuff on the fly. So, but yeah, and I love this right here. I love this right here. You play a little bit more aggressive when you play for what's across your chest. That's a bar right there. That's the bar. But that's the bar though. You play more harder because you got Jackson State across your chest. You play more harder when you got Southern or Grambling, whatever that G on your helmet. You know that Columbia blue down there in Baton Rouge, or even having that interlocking Alabama A&M logo on your helmet. Like you do play hard when you play for what's across your chest. You also play hard for the name that's across the back. So so I mean that's cool, and I get it, and I appreciate it. One of my, and listen to, before we get into everything, listen to the coaches call. One of my favorite coaches basically is, like I said, other than TC, is Coach Hampton. I like it because I love his enthusiasm, and it's like, yes, even though you got a down year, it's a down year right now. I don't even think I've seen that man get mad. And that's just a testament to his belief that you try hard and you try hard. You can. It might not. You can succeed. It might not come the way that you want it to come. Just like life, but if you keep trying hard, you will succeed. And I love his enthusiasm. I love the energy that he brings on the calls. I even love, like Coach Wade, being a young coach. I like that he can actually be in tune with the kids of now, and try to bring try to bring somewhat of a winning attitude to Mississippi Valley. So I appreciate having the on those coaching calls and getting in talking to the coaches and stuff like that. It gives me confidence that my journalistic chops are coming more and more into fruition now than it was beforehand. So I want to give a clap, give a round of applause for that. But let's get into these HBCU streets as always, man. As always, first and foremost, I kind of want to put it out there. Wow. But first and foremost, I want to kind of put it out there that it's crazy because he wasn't on the call today, but he was attending to a family family and friend situation earlier, and that goes out to Coach McKinney. He, whatever happened. Prayers out to them. But Coach McKinney for Texas Southern has been relieved of his duties as of today. Earlier today, he did meet with the I think he met with the athletic department and also with the leaders of the school at Texas Southern. So Coach McKinney is no longer the head football coach at Texas Southern as of today. So just let everybody know he has been relieved of his duties, and it is crazy for you to be relieved of, from something where the last game you had a lead and it was just, it kind of just fell apart from that. It just kind of fell apart, and I just, my whole thing about it is like, it's the season of ups and downs, but it's also when you get into the when you get into coaching, and especially on this level, you have to, it's sometimes it's results driven. So Mama Body, Dr. Lori, how y'all doing? When you get into this, when you get into coaching, it's results driven. Like, you have to produce results. And when it comes down to it, I also, me being being in management for for most of the time that I've been working, I have to go by with what my higher ups would tell me. Like, if they saying, hey, Doc, you're not doing this, not looking too good right now. What are you going to do to improve it? And if they give you chance after chance after chance after chance after chance, and you haven't made any type of improvements to what you're supposed to do, the next best thing for them to do is to cut their losses short and say, hey, I'm sorry, but we're going to have to go in another direction. And I've been in that situation where I had to tell people, I'm sorry, but we're not going to be able to get this done. I appreciate your time for working with us and everything, but I'm just gotta go into, I just gotta go in another direction. And then you gotta go through that whole process of trying to find somebody that you feel like is qualified for the job. At this moment, Coach McKinney was 12-35. He was 12-35 in 5 seasons at the helm for Texas Southern University. Did not produce any winning seasons. Did not have any victories over your rival, Prairie View. Did not have any victories over Grambling. Had victories over Southern. Had victories over Alcorn. But the Grambling and the Prairie View, you have to make sure you have to be able to win those games. He was not able to win those games. And then other than that, this last game against Pine Bluff, who was 2-9 coming into this game, you had the lead, and the team did everything it could to get that lead back. And Pine Bluff, they pretty much they capitalized on all the mistakes that you made in the game. And therefore, and I understood that the kids was fighting for you to keep your job and everything, and that's cool. But in this day and age, right now, okay, you beat Grambling once, cool, thank you. But in this day and age, it's always results driven. I can't keep a coach that's 12-35 that has not won against their rival in 5 years at the Hill. And then yes, and that's the big thing right there. And that's the big thing. The star quarterback going down really hurt the chances of you retaining your job. And I know, Mama Body, you in here, and I understand that you and Andrew and Mr. Body, y'all have a huge decision to make on what he wants to do going into his senior year. I tell him take time and y'all discuss whatever y'all need to discuss and whatever is best the decision. Because remember, at the end of the day, it's his decision. So I just want to put that out there for everybody to understand. Let's not pressure my dude. Let him make it, let him think about it, make his decision. And I mean, that's it. I mean, there's a lot of it's a lot of coaches that got their pink, like I said, it was gonna be pink slip Monday. And apparently he got it, his pink slip got issued. It got issued. And yes, it is always going to be God's plan. It's always going to be God's plan, but at the end of the day, it's still his decision on where he gonna go. If he gonna stay, he gonna go. Me, I don't want him to leave. I want him to be at Texas Southern because losing him, that a dynamic player like that, losing him, man, it hurts, especially in the West. But like I said, Pacers got issues, y'all. I'm telling you, they got issues this past week, last week, and today. Yeah, with no O line either, man. That was the best thing. That was the best of things. So whoever is going to be the coach of Texas Southern University, they got a tall task at hand, but I know whoever gets named to the job, they'll be able to get the job done. And like I said, it's always going to be results driven. Doesn't matter. College football is always going to be results driven. What have you done? Not even what have you done for me lately. Now is what have you done for me now today. So we always got to think in that mindset. Other than that, we got upsets in college basketball. Yesterday, as you see, I gotta represent the hometown, gotta represent the home team. Last night, Jackson State goes into Columbia, Missouri. And I know my boy, we know Niles Gaddy will probably at the game. Shout out to Niles Gaddy over in Missouri. You know what I'm saying? J State Tiger, no matter what it is, he got his degree from J State. He always gonna forever be a blue Bengal. But anyway, go into Columbia, the home of Harry S. Truman, former president. Go in there, and J State comes out victorious against Missouri, 73-72. That man Chase Adams is a dog. That man Chase Adams is a dog. He a dog, and then you see Missouri push the ball down the court real fast, try to go for a pass underneath basket, stolen, got steal, clock ran out. Hey, we did what we were supposed to do. And it's not just Jackson State that's getting upsets out there. We had Southern upsetting UNLV in basketball. Jared Tarkania rolling over in his grave right now. We had, if I'm not mistaken, Grambling with a couple of wins, Grambling with a win this year. Norfolk State women out there balling in front of BIAC. Look, I'm going to tell y'all something right now. Y'all better stop sleeping on us over in these HBCU streets with basketball. You might catch an issue. For real. For real. But yeah, shout out to Jackson State over a Power 5 team. We played them 7 times, and yesterday was our first time getting a win over Missouri. So we are 1-7 against Missouri in basketball. Shout out to Coach Mo Williams and the whole hoop squad. And the crazy thing about this is we didn't even have our full complementary of players. Mansell is still out on, as far as with an injury. Deshaun Ruffin, of course, we already know he's out for the season with the torn ACL. But this team came out there, they scrapped through, they played hard. And the first 5 games, y'all got to understand, we had a brutal schedule. Of course, playing against Memphis, going out to California, playing against San Diego, Loyola Marymount, playing against those teams out there on the West Coast, Cal Baptist. And, each time I look at the scores, I look at the highlights, it seems like we are probably just one step closer, upsetting somebody in these Power 5 streets, in these major streets. But you know what I'm saying? Like I said, shout out to Jackson State. Shout out to all the teams in the diaspora that's out there kicking ass and taking names in these basketball streets, men and women. Second and fourth, another thing we want to shout out to, reason why I got my Jackson State shirt on. Shout out to the volleyball team, Jackson State volleyball team shout out to the Jackson State volleyball team for winning the SWAC championship in volleyball down there in Prairie View, Texas. Winning the championship 3-0 against, I'm sorry to say it, Dr. Lori, FAMU. So now Jackson State volleyball gets to go to the NCAA tournament. We extend our season, one more game, one more set, one more match. But appreciate and congratulations to those young ladies for getting the job done and making believers out of a lot of people out there at Prairie View that was, watch the game at Prairie View. But yep, man, I just want to make sure everybody understand. And a 5th seed, Mr. Brown, you said a 5th seed? a fifth seed in the tournament, and they took it all the way and got the dub in the championship game. Tremendous season for our young ladies over at the volleyball, for volleyball, y'all. we just don't do it in football, baby. We do it in that volleyball too, baby. We do it in that set. We gotta spike that shit, man. You know what I'm saying? We going in there for them digs and the kills. Hey, we do everything, y'all. We got going down, like I said, with basketball. You know what I'm saying? Football is we gonna get back up there at football. We not gonna be sleep when it comes to football. Also, y'all already know what it is. This past Saturday was really truly, in fact, the last that was the last game of the season, except for a couple of teams. Like I said, this week, Turkey Day Classic against Tuskegee versus Alabama State on Thanksgiving Day in Montgomery, Alabama, the 99th edition of this game right here. It is the oldest classic to be played in HBCU football. And then, of course, we got, I would call it the granddaddy of them all, but that's what it is. It's the Bayou Classic on Saturday, Grambling versus Southern. This game will be on NBC at 1 o'clock, nationally televised. So make sure y'all don't miss that right there. But it is I'm gonna just let y'all know it is transfer portal time. What I mean by transfer portal time, all the kids that didn't get the chance to go out there and prove themselves on the field, or they felt like they got a better chance of making it at another program, or here's another thing, your eligibility might be up for at that particular school if you don't go through a grad program at that particular school. Transfer portal is deep in rotation right now, and we gonna get on the SWAC championship game too, because we got to do some talking about that. But going into the portal, make sure if you're going into the portal, I'm talking to my athletes. I'm talking to the athletes out here. Going into the portal, make sure that you don't put yourself in portal obscurity. And what I mean by that is basically just saying, don't die in the portal. Don't die in it, because it's a lot of kids that are still in the portal that have not been picked up yet, and don't know if they're going to get picked up yet. Most of these kids that are in a portal that's transferring to other places, they are mostly the COVID kids. So you're probably going to see that kind of dwindle down, and then we're getting back to pretty much almost back to regular basis, where you pretty much recruit high school heavy, JUCO, and you're still going to get some kids out of the portal. From what I'm hearing, North Carolina A&T might have a mass exodus of players in the portal. Just found out Eli Brickhandler, who's quarterback for North Carolina A&T, aka the Pound Puppies. He did enter himself into the portal, and let everybody know in the SWAC, and you know what I'm saying, and for us Jackson State folks, let's not be too emotional about it, because once they jump in this portal, I mean, they have a chance to come back, but if they get picked up by another team, man, let's just say, hey, let's say our well wishes, good luck to you. Hope you ball out wherever your next destination is, and let's move on to the next. Hold on. So if I was the JSU coaching staff, Doc, who would you target in the portal? First and foremost, I'm gonna target a defensive lineman. I'm gonna target a defensive lineman, preferably a defensive end. Um, Also looking at linebacker because we did have issues with our linebacking core. So I would look into that. I also would look into as far as offensive line to add on for depth and probably get one more QB maybe out of the portal who is kind of cool with having a QB competition. Um, that's what I would see. Cornerbacks. I mean, with cornerbacks, we got majority of our corners coming back. Defensive backfield coming back. Uh, Looking at Jalen Hughes, I think he'd be back K5. He's coming back because of coming off an injury. The back end, you got it says Guthrie that's coming back. He'll be a grad student next season. I don't think Tim Stewart, his eligibility is up. You got BJ Washington coming back off an injury. Then you also still got freshmen and players that really didn't even come into the school in the fall that should be back in the spring. And what I mean by that, you got a Bruce Batman Mitchell that is waiting his time. He been chilling and he been cooling. He been learning plays and stuff like that. He been waiting his time. He'll be back. You got a Tristan Sion who came in the spring, but he left for, people say he left out it was competition, but soon find out that his mom was battling cancer and she beat cancer, and his mindset was on his mother, and he'll be back. More likely, he'll be back in the spring. And speaking of Tristan, shout out to him because today I just forgot. Today was his birthday. Today is his birthday, man. Today is his birthday. Tristan Sion, man. Happy birthday to you. You made 19 years today. Happy birthday to you, my guy. Hopefully get you back on the show to do an interview so we can get in depth on what's going on and what you're gonna do and when you coming back to Jackson. You know what I'm saying? But happy birthday to you, bro. Herb Mulligan is not coming back because he is grad transfer. He exhausted all his eligibility, so he is going to the next level. Of course, Jackson Brown is going to the next level. We got Jacoby Morgan for another year or two. We have Grayson Thompson, who is going to be a grad assistant, from what I'm hearing. Zy McDonald got 2 years left on his for eligibility, and then you got a freshman Ethan Turrell coming in from Louisville. As far as the QB spot, so when come down to it, I'm thinking TC gonna go into the transfer portal to try to find another QB, or go to the JUCO route to get another QB to come in. Now, as far as kicker and punter, I wouldn't even go after the kicker and punter. G Baby's supposed to be back next season. Matt Noah has another year under his belt. We got Dylan Watson, you got Leilani, basically are coming back. So kicker and punter, I would be straight. I'm cool with that. We should be fine with that. We got another year or two with those guys, with those complementary pieces right there. When it comes down to it, and this is what I thought. I thought that Fabian Morgan, Fabo, his eligibility had exhausted. What I heard this morning from TC is that Fabo has 2 more years left with Jackson State. So so Fabo will be back. He got 2 years left. The eligibility. I don't know anything about Rico. Don't know anything about Duke Miller. Uh, I'm looking at Kobe Paul will be back. I'm looking at um, Isaiah Spencer. That young man used to stay. You still got Isaiah Kendall. We got Mike Williams. You got Jonas Fortillion. We got a lot of receivers out there, a lot of weapons out there that is pretty much coming back. Seven McGee, don't know what about his status, but hopefully he'll be back, or hopefully he'll correct the problems that he had this season and make sure that they don't come into the next season. Running backs, like I said, JD Martin, I think JD is done. Desmond Moultrie should be back. Somebody said Herb might come back for another year, but he was a grad transfer, so he only had 1 year left, and that was this season. Also, you got Ezekiel Johnson, who's a freshman this year. He'll be back. Ahmad Miller, he'll be back also. You got Amari Matthews, he'll be back. The running back room is gonna be deep. He's gonna add. I know he's gonna add some more pieces to the running back room. O-lineman, like I said, Sir Riley, appreciate you, sir, bro. Congratulations. I think he's gone for sure. I know Evan Henry is going to be done. I haven't heard anything about Kirk Ford. I think either he got 1 more year or he's done with his eligibility. Hold on, you said Amado ain't coming back. Hold on, let me get Mr. Ford up here. But I mean, either way it goes, man, we have a lot of players that should be back. I mean, I think they'll come back, and then we got players that's coming into the season that we re-offered. Dylan Spencer is going to be got re-offered by Jackson State, coming from Missouri. Another player, we seen him. I think we seen him on the sideline yesterday. Scotty Parker, offensive lineman from Louisville. We talked about that Louisville connection. Might be coming over. Quay Davis, little brother, about the same size as him, has committed to Jackson State. So we're gonna get some depth at that offensive line. But all right, Mr. Ford, I think I dropped the links for you. So yep, the portal gives and the portal takes. So, but you won't, and I think you won't see a mass exodus in the portal for Jackson State. You won't see it. But this is the way of the world now for college football. This is the way of the world for college football. So, um, what you mean? I'm sure about. I mean, it's the way of the world for college football. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. man. What's up, brother?
What's going on, Doc? Can you hear me, my man?
Yes, sir. What's going on with you, man?
Oh, nothing much. I just had a couple questions I want to ask you, right?
No, go ahead.
Okay. I noticed you say you hope they get go after a quarterback to create a QB so they can have a QB competition. But
Yeah.
you wouldn't go after any kickers. You don't trust the quarterback you got now?
I trust. I mean, look, I trust the quarterback. I trust the kickers, but my whole thing is when it came to the kickers, it was just the injury bug hit us, and that was the main thing about the kickers. At least, but I would say this though, you can say this too. The kickers were better than what they was like a couple of years ago.
Yeah, okay, I got you. But I'm talking, but why are we? And I've heard a few people say that. Why are we so anxious to try to create a QB competition the way Jacoby Morgan played? I'm just wondering.
I mean, but you know what though? When you, to me, when you do QB competition, I think it brings out the best in the person that is actually you feel like that's actually going to get the job. You get what I'm saying though? Like, cause remember, 2 years, Jack State has not had a QB competition because everybody already knew Shador was going to be the man to take the spot. And that was that because of no competition. That because his daddy said he was going to be a QB. What's going on, Mr. Ford?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
So I'm gonna say this right quick. Let me say this right quick. Don't it seem like going into next year, you should know who the starting quarterback is now?
Yeah, you can't go
into.
But
like we can't go into every season saying there got to be a competition for that. If somebody come in and happen to outdo Jacoby Morgan, in which I absolutely doubt. I think Jacoby Morgan is a future star. That's me. I think Jacoby Morgan is a future star. But you should be going into the season with Jacoby Morgan. The off season, my starting quarterback next season is Jacoby Morgan.
Yeah, you can say that, but you also got to understand now. Like back then, you knew who your starter was gonna be. Like that was, you know what I'm saying? That was no ifs, ands, or buts. You knew who your starter was gonna be back then. Nowadays, especially since we had this thing called the transfer portal. A kid could
but Morgan
come in.
Ain't trying to.
I know.
Ain't trying to go nowhere.
Oh, I know he ain't trying to go nowhere.
He ain't trying to go nowhere.
I know he ain't trying to go.
That's the point I'm trying to get. But that's the point. Okay. No.
But I know.
But the question I'm asking, because I've heard it. But that's the question that I'm asking. If you know you have a quarterback and you have seen how he played, you even saw how he throw, even on a hurt shoulder against Alcorn on that touchdown, why is it so enticing for us to say we must see if we can find someone better? When you see he has already made a connection with one of the receivers, it would almost be like starting over again. I'm just asking. I could be wrong. I'm just asking.
No, but I get what you're saying. But my whole thing is when you have a competition amongst fellow players that plays the same position, it's like iron sharpens iron. You get what I'm saying? And I'm not saying to say, well, no, we need competition because he is terrible at things. I'm like, no, we probably need competition because maybe it could kind of light that fire up under himself to say, hey, this is certain aspects of my game. I got to get better at some, you know what I'm saying, at something else. Like when it comes to putting touch on the ball, I might need to put more touch on the ball, or I might need to take less touch off the ball. Or when it comes down to the progression of looking at receivers, maybe I need to look at progressions like first receiver, second receiver, third receiver, check down. To me, it all creates it's not to create hostility, it's not to create animosity towards these players. It's to actually, to me, in my sense, it's actually to get better. And of course, I'm telling you like this. I didn't play sports a lot. I played pickup basketball. I played football a little bit, but I played in the band, and we had a thing about competition. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go for your, it's like my whole thing is I'm gonna go for your spot. I'm gonna go for your chair. And if I'm better than you and you're not on your A game, I'm gonna take it. But what I'm saying is with Jacobian is that maybe he could get the, kind of get the competition under him to where he look at something on film and say, okay, I think I did this wrong, but I need to go ahead and correct this. You get what I'm saying, though? Like, it's always brief. I'm not saying to take his job away or nothing like that. I'm just saying to make him better and to make everybody else better that's on the team, that's willing to stay on the team.
So let me, okay, I'm gonna ask you, then I'm done that. So which position would go into the next season with already have people saying I'm gonna start, this is the starter at this position? Now, if somebody come take the position, they come take the position. But during the off season and you got players coming back, somebody got to say, because if you just starting all the way over, it just like starting when the previous coach left, and now everybody really trying out for a position. Now we have played a whole season, and you know what you have. So what I'm saying is, you can't say we want a quarterback competition, but don't get any kickers. If it's gonna be a competition, everybody got to have the same competition in.
But
your running back, also, your D line, your O line, your wide receivers, everybody.
Right. Everybody. But I said this. When I'm saying this, when it comes down to special teams, the kickers, I think it's going to be a competition out there. I know it's a punter that came in. I think he came in this weekend for the game. I don't know if he committed yet, but like I said, we got Matt Knoll for one more year. And he was kicking the hell out of the ball. He was punting the hell out of the ball early in the season, and that he started. He got hurt in the middle of it, and then he just came back late, and he went back to doing what he's doing. But I do feel like what you're saying is that every position is to me, every position is up for grabs. Every position is up for grabs. Unless it's that quarterback, and that quarterback position is so solidified, you that confident that person gonna be your, gonna be the head man in charge right there, to lead your offense, to lead your team, then go, so be it. But I feel like this, everybody need competition. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I would say that the special teams, kicker and the punter, they'll have competition too. You never know. Like, to me, you never know. If G-Bay come back, if his leg is healthy and he gets stronger, he might beat out. Let's say he might beat out Dylan Watson on kickoffs, or if Leilani was if her leg gets stronger, her knee gets stronger, and she go out there and kick field goals, you never know. G-Baby be like, hey man, I think I know I can take this spot right there. And also, my whole thing, competition breeds success to me. And I guess that's my, I guess that's just being, having my managerial hat on, because being a manager for a while. And like, I like to see competition, but I get what you're saying though. But I get what you're saying. Mr. Ford, you got anything to say about this?
Man, listen. If you start giving away positions, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Listen, a lack of competition leads to entitlement. Entitlement is what got Mike Brown run out of Austin, Texas. See, that's what he was doing, just giving away positions and not letting kids compete. That's why they eventually got rid of. See, if you don't have competition in your program, like you said, iron sharpens iron, you're going to lose a lot of games, man. And your program is going to go down. Listen, I'm like, just you said it right. All positions are up for grab. I have one head coach. Listen, he would go in and we had to study film. He would make changes in the lineup on Sunday. He would say, okay, what's the name just lost his position. This kid right here is going in that position. Listen, I'm all for competition. Because see, I'm trying to tell you now, no competition, that stuff is going to lead to entitlement. Entitlement is going to lead to losses. And that kid is good. I think that he's really good, and I think he's the future and everything, but you don't give him the position. That's what you got spring training for. That's what you got preseason and all that before the season starts. Because I've worked with kids who came in out of shape, okay? By October, they got in shape. Them kids became starters. I definitely believe in competition. I don't believe in just giving no kid no position now. No, that's entitlement.
So Mr. Brown, what you think about what we talking about right now?
Doc, how's it going, man?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm good. Thanks for having me on the show. I think, Doc, I believe that what Brother McCarter, that's my homeboy, by the way.
Nah, you good.
I think the position is Jacobians to lose. I do think there should be, active competition in spring practice. I think the kid from Louisville, Zai and Philip Short, you got 4 QBs in the room. But I think it's Jacobian's position to lose. And with everyone taking active reps in practice, hopefully Jacobian won't get lackadaisical and get complacent. I think it's his to lose. I think where we stand right now, quarterback is not a position of need for us. I think if the season started, the 24 season started, May 1, we know Jacobian will be under center. That's what we would hope. But we do want depth, quality backups. We do need that.
Right.
Just like the case with running back. If Herb does have any eligibility left, you got Herb, you got JD coming back, you got Moultrie, you got Ahmad, you got Zeke. That's an active competition right there. But if Herb is back, we do know that Herb is Herb's position to lose.
Right.
Just like Kobe. So, no, we can't just give it to him, pencil you in, but we want you to win it, but you got to still fight for it. Now, on the flip side, Doc, I do think those corners, Jalen, Kevrick, I want some healthy competition back there. We got beat a lot over the top. True, we did. We did lead FCS in interceptions. That's because everybody threw at us. That's two ways to look at that. If you get thrown a lot, you're going to get a lot of interceptions.
Right.
Tim Stewart got a lot across the middle, but I just feel like on the corners, if we can get a little more, because when we go press man, we got beat a lot at the line. We got to get a little bigger. I mean, I was on our corners. You saw how all corners were. They're a lot thicker, a lot bigger, and that's why I want some competition for hopefully Bruce Mitchell, Narik Sharp, and
Narik,
Christian, and get a couple more via the JUCO route. Can make everybody just step the game up somewhat, But if what I really do want under my jacket say Christmas tree, give me some nasty linebackers. Give me 2 more, some Aubrey Millers that's gonna want the ball, want to make the tackle. That's what we need.
Yeah.
That's under my Christmas tree. Give me some dirty, low down linebackers.
That's what I'm talking about. That is what I'm talking about.
But all in all, man, I think 24, I think we're going to be a lot. I tweeted yesterday, tweeted TC, a lot more tough, bigger, a lot more discipline. A lot of the celebrations we did, I felt like, let's just, a lot of that, man, I don't mind the kids celebrating, but let's celebrate by just being tough. A lot of stuff, that Peppers was doing, man, let's make some plays against when it counts. Everybody can beat up on the UAPBs and the Bethunes and the Valleys. Let me see you make some plays against the Alabama States and the Alcorn. That's when I want to see you cut up.
Right.
So
I feel you.
But
and while we at it, we got this nice panel right here tonight. You know what I'm saying? While we at it, like I said, I was on the coach's call. Coach McKinney was on the call. I mean, he wasn't on the call this morning. Later on this afternoon, found out that Texas Southern did relieve him of his duties today. Like we said, to me, certain things did not formulate for him into having winning football down there in Third Ward. And my thing is, like, this last game, I think this last game, like, literally solidified his release. You get what I'm saying? Like, it literally, like, for you to have a 31-7 lead, you got the best running back in the SWAC and Ladarius Owens. You got probably the one of the most efficient quarterbacks right now in Jace Wilson, and you got playmakers all around on the outside. There is no way in the world you would tell me you are 31-7. All you have to do is score probably like 10 to 14 more points in this game, and it's over with. Run the ball, just make sure you don't give the game away. And what did they do? They gave the game away. And the way that I've seen it with his body language is like, his body language on the sideline is like, damn, I know I'm about to get fired. What do y'all think about that? Coach McKinney leaving, getting relieved of his duties today. I'm gonna start with you, Mr. Ford.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Coach McKinney is no longer in the equation. Here's the thing. It's about Texas Southern. Are you going to get somebody worse than Coach McKinney? Are you going to get somebody like Coach McKinney? Or are you going to go get a champion? Okay, Coach McKinney is out of the equation. It's about Kevin Granger as athletic director, the administration, the president, whether they be interim or permanent.
Yes, sir.
What are you going to do? What kind of commitment do you have? What are you looking for? Are you just looking for somebody that can keep the football program going until the basketball season? Or are you looking for a championship coach? It is not, you know what? Matter of fact, I don't think we have anything else to discuss about Coach McKinney. What we need to be looking at now is who's are they going to put in that position? That's what we need to be looking at.
Well, you did try to fire the whole division though last month, so I understand where you're coming from. Bakari, you still there, man?
Yeah, you know what? I was gonna say this. I was listening, and I know this is something Mr. Ford said a couple weeks ago, or a week or so ago. We need to stop always just hiring people from within SWAC circles. How about one of these SWAC schools go try to see if Turner Gill will come coach at the SWAC? Y'all know who Turner Gill is?
Definitely, Nebraska Cornhusker. Yeah.
Yeah. Then he was the coach at Buffalo.
Yeah.
He won the MAC at Buffalo. Then, they did him like they do every black coach. And I don't know why black people are so excited. We got a black person at a Power 5. But they did him just like they do every black coach that go to a Power 5. They gave him the worst school, which was Kansas at the time. They gave him the worst school and gave him 3 years. And he was gone. He ain't coaching nowhere. The coach that was at Stanford, see if he would come. See if he would come. Yeah, I think that's his name. See if he would come to an HBCU. We got to stop hiring our first cousins, our frat brothers, and this person was at Alcorn, so we gonna bring him over here. It's other black coaches out there that's qualified that I honestly believe that will want to come coach at an HBCU and make the program. I'm just being like I don't know, like I don't know none of these people, so I'm just calling names. Byron Leftwich has been begging to be a head coach. Them white folks ain't gonna give him no chance. Maybe that is somebody an HBCU could reach out to so he could get him some head coaching experience. I'm just saying. So who was that? Was it Albany State? Fayetteville State? One of them just got a professional Cromartie who was willing to work his way up. He's a defensive back coach. Everybody is not gonna do like the guy that was at Jackson State. I don't say his name because I don't respect him. The guy that was at Jackson State, or the guy that fired himself at Bethune before all of them is not going to do it. Those two were like that because they wanted to be around people who look up to them while they can look down on you. But I'm just saying we're gonna have to get out of, because I want the SWAC to have real coaches so our players can actually be developed. I'm talking about really coached. And that's what I saw. I just threw some names out. That probably would be a long shot. But I agree with Mr. Ford. He is no longer in the equation. Yeah. And you know what did Hugh Jackson say from Grambling? Go back to his tweet last year. Stop rushing to go stop rushing to be around places where you only tolerate it. Come coach at an HBCU where you are loved, respected, and appreciated. So maybe that resonated with a couple of those people. I don't know, but I think it's worth a shot. So that's what I say about it.
Yeah. What you got, Bob? What you got, Mr. Brown?
What I would do, because I know I need an offensive coach to keep body there. I'm going to find the best qualified offensive guru I can get that wants to be at Texas Southern, that has some recruitment experience there in the greater Houston area, just to keep body around for that year, another year or two, because we know offense sells tickets, and we know they don't sell out the soccer stadium they in. So if you can keep body day one, get somebody that can develop body, if you keep body, you may keep the team. Keep the team together. You keep body, you got Quay Davis, you're gonna lose Owens. So now you keep the majority of the team because you got the general back. You put up some numbers. You got the recruitment. You cut the recruitment teeth in Houston. You sell more tickets and get you somebody that with some extensive high school coaching experience. Let them get on the operations recruitment coordinator side so you can get you some 2 and 3 stars in Texas. Because Texas has so much talent. You can take some 2 and 3 stars and still be competitive now. Especially if you're going to develop them anyway. Because Texas, you never have to worry about talent. That Houston area, you got North Shore, you got Side Creek, all those right there.
Fort Bend Marshall, you got you got Willis, and then I talk to my guy Craig. We talk about this all the time. That's my dude. He third ward through and through, but I gave him some names. I kind of threw out 3 names. One of them I know might not even venture out of high school. That's Coach Sample. That man is a legend. We call him the Godfather of DFW high school football. Like that man, he don't go nowhere. But I had 2 names. I said, look, I would look at Claude Mathis from DeSoto High School. Right. He had coaching experience. He was on the coaching staff at SMU. He ran. So he know how to deal with colleges. And then I would go. In a sense, I would go after an alum. I would go after Jason Todd for South Oak Cliff. Okay. Jason Todd played at Texas Southern from 95 to 2000. He was there. He know the lay of the land. He know Texas. All of them know straight, Texas. he would easily be able to go in somebody's house in Dallas, in Houston, in Austin, in Fort Worth, in East Texas, San Antonio, or even in Corpus Christi, because that's where Andrew Body from.
Right.
He could easily go down to those places and sit in the house and say, "Hey, I want your son, your nephew, your grandson, your cousin to come play for us over at Texas Southern." So I think, in a sense, it's we don't know what Dr. Granger's wish list is as far as his candidates for football coach, but hopefully you can get some new blood to come up in there, and you know, the Texas Southern job is not one of those glamorous jobs that you want, you know, that a coach would take, because it's like you in like what, the third or fourth largest city in the United States, and you in like the second in population as far as in Texas, and you can't recruit Texas. Something wrong, right?
That's what I'm saying, Doc. You in Houston, you in the state of Texas, and at Texas Southern, you just win 7 games a year. You'll be there forever and a day. At 7 games with that talent and that hotbed of football talent, you take the top 15 running backs at each position in the state of Texas.
Mm-hmm.
One of them, you still working with something, you know. And like I said, I think they definitely underachieved. I just wish we were, being a Jackson State fan, in a city like that with those type built-in amenities that the city can offer from a recruitment standpoint and things to do outside of football.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they've underachieved, and if I'm Texas Southern, I'm getting somebody offensive minded with extensive recruitment experience. I'm meshing it with a high school guy that ain't got reaches throughout the state, and I'm gonna try to keep Body, because I think if I can keep Body there, I can have at least 20 or 30 of my team out the portal. You know,
Right.
especially that D line, the defensive, they had some pieces. I think Quay Davis may not be able to transfer again, but on the defensive side, they had some pieces.
Nah, he had to sit. If he transfer again, he had to sit out.
Right.
He had to sit out, and I don't think he's gonna transfer no time soon.
Ranger being from Kemper County, I wish him the best, just except when they play Jackson State. But I wish him the best, you know.
Oh yeah, man. But what y'all think about the upset yesterday? Jackson State upsetting Mizzou in Columbia. What do you think about that?
Doc, I think in this day and age with AAU and the Adidas circuit and the Nike circuit, the group of 5 and Power 5, unlike football, they can't hold all the basketball talent. That basketball talent, because then you got the G League and some of the kids, so it's spread out. That talent is spread out. So if you get good guard play, good defensive rebounding, and the referees let you play, on any given night in basketball, it can go your way.
Right.
But you got to think,
what thing, Mr. Ford?
I think it's a good sign for them in the upcoming SWAC season and the SWAC tournament. I think Southern beat UNLV and they beat Missouri. That speaks well for the upcoming conference schedule. Oh, yeah. I think it's that's a bill right there. That's something we can be very proud of, because you know that Missouri they in the SEC. You know, they probably got $10 million for that basketball team. We probably don't have $500,000 for our basketball team. So that's a major win.
That is a major win.
Major win.
And I was just getting the updates last night. I was like, oh, hold on, man. I was at work. I didn't know what was going on. We got Zach. We got Blue up in here. What's going on, Blue? But yeah, man, it's a lot of things going on. So we getting down to the nitty gritty on the Southern head football coach search. I said my prayer yesterday that Chennisberry needs to stay in the SIAC, preferably at Benedict. And if he does leave Benedict, just let him go down to South Carolina State. We don't need to bring that man into the SWAC. That man is Thanos reincarnated, the black version. I don't think we need that man over at the Bluff because I don't want to deal with them problems. That man can coach. That man can coach. But we ain't heard. I haven't heard no word about Chennisberry just yet. Won't know until after his season is done because he got to play out. You know, he's in a D2 playoffs, and hopefully, man, they get to they get farther because I actually want to see them here in Texas because the national championship game for Division II is in McKinney, Texas, at McKinney ISD Stadium. I would like to see that. But what's going on, Dr. Cavill? We got the general up in here as always. I want to talk about this. So y'all see, we got a new president at Jackson State, and I made my comment last week, and I was like, we got the damn president out of a Cracker Jack box. We got him out the bottom of a cereal bag where they get the prize from. Knowing for what who he is Dr. Marcus L. Thompson. He worked, I think he worked extensively with IHL. From what I've heard, he did not get interviewed for this job. He did not apply for this job. He doesn't really have any fundraising ability. He has worked in education, but not on the sense of higher learning. Brother Bakari, I need to go to you. What do you say about what the IHL gave to us?
Can you read my avatar? Can you read my avatar?
Yeah.
Black people don't owe the world nothing but an ass whooping. But as long as we sit back and don't do nothing about it, if black folks don't want him there to be president, want to stop the IHL from choosing president, that's something we got to do. We can't. We have to start being proactive, right? I don't know nothing about the guy. I don't know nothing about the guy. Couldn't find nothing about him. I got some people. I got some people who I'm gonna make some calls to who I do know would know something about him. But if you want change, we can't sit back and wait on white people to give us something. And I know people want to say, yeah, especially Mississippi. No, white people in this damn country. You can't sit and wait on white people with money who in charge to give you something that's good for you. Everything everything is business. And this is a business. This is something they want to control. They want to control black folks. They want to control the black folk there in Jackson. They want to control all of that. So if you don't want him there, it is something that we have to organize. You have to unite, you have to organize, you have to strategize, and you have to get that person removed. And you have to stand up and say the IHL would not be choosing another president for our university without if it's not anyone that we approve of. We can't just sit back and constantly let white folk do what the hell they want to do to you, then complain about what white folk do to us. They do it because they know that the black men fit the stereotype that they said about us. We like to talk, but it's time to take action. And if we want something to be done, like I said, we have to strategize. You have to organize and you have to strategize and fight for what you want in whichever way we deem is fighting. If boycotting, if you're walking out of whatever it is we feel need to be done, that's what we have to be doing to change it if you don't want it. But like I said, I don't know anything about the guy. I don't know. They said he worked for the IHL. Like I said, I would have to do a little bit. Me personally, I would do more digging before when people tell me stuff, I like to look it up because it's something I notice about the social media streets. The social media streets, some stuff, and I ain't saying nobody made, but some stuff get made up, then other people pass it around as fact, and then sometimes it's some fact in there, and it's some fiction in there, and then it's some confusion in there. I don't know anything about the guy, but you need to look up the guy to see exactly who he is and what about his and what he's done, his past, other than just working for the IHL on the IHL board. What else? I don't even know if he was on the board. What else have you done? You know,
Right.
has he ever done anything for any HBC? Do he stand for anything positive for Black people in HBCUs? We have to look into all that. You know, he could be, for the lack of a better term, and Lord knows I hate this term because it's absolutely derogatory, and I don't use derogatory terms. But you ever heard of a book called The Spook That Sat by the Door?
Mm-hmm.
So you know what the spook that sat by the door was, right? Let's say hypothetically he could have been there on IHL and he could have been playing the black. I can't say that no more. He could have been playing the Black person sitting by the door. He could have been there playing them. See, they play the games. We got to learn to play the game. Suppose he was playing the game and he actually there to do something good for you. And I don't know. I'm just saying, until we truly look into it, talk to him or whatever. On that, that's all I have to say.
So I'm reading this right here. This is from Diverse. I'm reading this. So Dr. Marcus L. Thompson will become president of Jackson State University effective November 27th, which is next week. Thompson is currently Deputy Commissioner and Chief Administrative Officer of the Mississippi Institutions of Higher Learning, the state's public university system. In this role, Thompson helped establish the IHL ADA Accessibility Services Task Force and leads efforts to bolster university diversity, access, and success. So this is coming from, hold on now. So I can't think of a leader in Mississippi who has invested more time and thought regarding the issues at Jackson State than my friend Marcus Thompson, said Dr. Rod Page, former U.S. Secretary of Education and former interim JSU president. He is one of the only people I can think of who has a full comprehension of the history, trajectory, strength, vulnerabilities, and basic needs of the university. I cannot think of an individual who could be more involved and have more connections with the people pertinent to the university than him. I think IHL has made a wise choice in making Marcus Thompson president, and I'm very proud that he would take advantage of this opportunity. So now this is basically his background. So he previously served as an educator and administrator in the Jackson Public School District and the Copiah County School District, and chief of staff and assistant to the state superintendent of the education for the Mississippi Department of Education. So he holds a BA in history and Spanish and a master's degree in education from Mississippi College. And he got his PhD in urban higher education from Jackson State. Marcus Thompson has a deep understanding of the vital role for HBCUs play in higher education, said Mississippi Senator Solly Norwood. His proven leadership will serve him well in taking Jackson State University to new heights. Okay.
Doc.
Yeah, what's up, man?
Please let me jump in here.
Go ahead. Because I've been want somebody to tell me, because I only reason why I didn't talk about this last week because
as a 92, I got you. As a 92 Jackson State grad, as one who was in Jackson from 87 to 94, has gone back to Jackson 5 to 7 times a year, involved in Jackson State alumni. I never heard of this brother in my life. As anybody, and if he had any hand, as Mr. Carey said, in helping select the last 4 presidents, that says enough for me in and of itself.
Right.
The fact that you were chosen by Tate Reeves, who's definitely anti-everything Jackson State, anti-Jackson, anti-black folk. It ain't who you is, it's who brought you here.
Right.
You understand? The fact that you was basically handpicked by them to lead my dear institution, I just can't rock with you. So for them to choose you out of, and you didn't even apply, out of over 70 candidates.
Yeah.
To me, that seems to me that, well, let's put him there because we're going to be able to control him and he's going to let us know every move and how they move it. A blind man can see this. And my homeboy is the head of the IHL, Alfred Rankins. And I want to be honest with you. The fact that in Mississippi, and I may be wrong, Doc, to say this.
No, go ahead. Say what you got to say.
Brother, the HBCU grad, IHL, and you let it go down like that. To me, that indicates that you have suppressed some of your blackness just to get to that position because you know what it is.
Ooh.
You went to Alcorn. You from the Delta. And you know these last 4 presidents did not do, and they were the last 4, they weren't even our choices. They weren't just choices of Jackson State. So to go back to what Brother Bakari said, white folks only understand 2 things, 3 things: power, violence, and money. That's the only thing they respect. So, and we are peace-loving folk. We don't do violence, and we peace-loving folk. But what we do spend money. So let's find out the IHL members that supported this and whoever else is anti-Jackson State, they all got businesses throughout the metro area. And we ain't got to broadcast how we do it, but let's hit them where it hurts. Let's find other places to spend our money that's associated with them, because that's all they respect: money and power.
But Bobby, I'm gonna tell you this: I could go with you even further. I could go with the last 5 presidents, because when Dr. I was in school when Dr. Lyons was there. I came in school in '97, and Dr. Lyons was my president. And even Dr. Peoples used to come around and walk around the campus and stuff. When the IHL appointed Ronald Mason to be our president, a lot of folks didn't like that. We didn't like that. We didn't know who he was, and then we found out. Well, first of all, he went. He headed Southern University. In our mind, it's like you coming from enemy territory, and he was the president. He was the president of Jackson State for 10 years, and
he brought Bell on.
Yeah, that's the name we don't want to talk about. He brought Bell on, fired Bell, and then brought Comedy in, and Dr. Myers fired him. On the standpoint of sports, but Dr. Mason was not. We didn't feel like Dr. Mason was a good choice for us. And the fact that he stayed at the school for 10 years, it was, to me, it was 10 years too long. We needed to move in a whole nother direction, and especially when the governor at the time, Haley Barber, was trying to merge all 3 of our HBCUs in the state into one, and everybody was in an uproar about that. And I remember that because we was planning to march down, to the state capitol about that. Carolyn Myers was, I wouldn't say she was bad, but I wouldn't say she was good either. The issue about that was with the money, you know what I'm saying, the depleted funds from the account where we only had like $5 million to dang near operate. And then with Bynum coming in, like, ask the question, you know, to me, you ask the question to Mississippi Valley, why did Bynum leave? Because he was the president over there before he got to Jackson. Ask the question, why did Bynum leave? Why did he leave? And we all knew what happened with Bynum. That was excuse my language, y'all. That was a shit show, epic proportions right there. To be here, and you know, to be here in Dallas and to hear about hear about the school president, and I'm reading from here in Dallas that he done got arrested and he got busted in a you know what I'm saying, in an operation sting, prostitution and stuff like that. It just, you know, it just put like it put a black eye on our school, and then getting Dr. Hudson and, you know, all the issues that he had. It's like we keep getting these presidents that have some sort of issue and they ain't got nothing to rectify, and IHL is not sitting here vetting these people that they appoint to our universities, not just to Jackson State, to Alcorn, to Valley. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't do anything to vet these people and say, hey man,
can I ask you a question, Doc?
What's going on?
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Well, check this out. Why would they vet anybody they give you? I'm gonna tell you something. One thing we should never forget is history. I know most of us forget history. You'll find a lot of black people. I ain't no African, I'm a black American, whatever. But anyway, we love to forget history. These people got filthy rich off the backs of our ancestors, right? They bought our ancestors here, right? They brought us here, right? So then we go through everything that we've gone through since then. So now all of a sudden, because it's 2023, we think that they're going to turn around and do something positive for us. No, it's not in their best interest, regardless of how much we say we love everybody. And I'm saying that as black people, because I don't say as a whole, I don't ever say I love everybody, because I don't. I can't even tell that lie. But regardless of how much we want to say things done changed, we gotta live better. Black people can get this position. You can see a couple of black millionaires. Things might be, but we don't understand what we are dealing with. They are living good from what they did throughout the backs of our ancestors, and we are still suffering the residual effects of that. So if they can control you, and they have toned down most of the black revolutionary spirit, right? Most of the black revolutionary mind. Why would they vet or do anything that's gonna make you good? It's not supposed to be like that. And see me, I have, and when it comes to the president thing, I'm a little different, and I go around everybody.
I know
speak,
you militant, my brother. I know you militant.
No, it's not just that, but I'm just saying it's just something else. When we talk about the president thing at Jackson State, I'm gonna be. It touched me a little different, and I explain when everybody speak. But I just wanted to ask, why do you think they would vet and give us something good? Why would anybody think that?
Man, nah, I get what you're saying though. And I know with Mr. Ford, we talk, me and Mr. Ford, we talk about presidents that when it comes to athletics, to sports, we want to make sure that they are intuitive with the athletic side. I don't know what he's going to do as far as athletic, as far as when it comes to athletics. Hopefully that he let Ashley Robinson do what he does as the athletic director, and he's also the VP. And and the crazy thing is, I wish you think about it. Ashley Robinson was the vice president of the school, and he's also doubling as the athletic director. He was. I've been appointed Ashley, like, hey, bro, say, bro. But I know Mr. Ford be like, nah, Ashley don't need to be he don't need to be the president of the school. He needs to be the athletic director because he does a great job at what he does with the minimum amount of finances that he does it with.
I think the only thing, Doc, that we really have in dealing with this IHL, and even dealing with Tate Reeves, now that Brandon Presley was not elected governor, is how we spend our money, Doc.
Mm-hmm.
Truly, how we spend our money and who we spend our dollars with there in the Jackson metro area. And I understand that people got to have basic necessities to live. But if we can identify those that are against us, be it IHL, be it state legislator, Tate Reeves and his cronies, and hit them in their pocketbooks, and in terms of not doing business with their businesses, I think some of this, Doc, will turn around and go in our direction. Because they respect the dollar, or lack of trust and belief. And I just think we got to be strategic in that regard on how we spend our money and what we demand of those that we spend our dollars with.
Right.
That's all we have at this point, Doc. Because we can't. The sheer numbers, in Mississippi, the poor white person in Mississippi, he'll rather vote against his own best interest than vote for somebody black. That's a whole nother story for another day. But at this point, Doc, we got to be strategic in really dealing with those and liking those who like us. And right now, hopefully, Dr. Thompson will prove me wrong, but I'm pessimistic. I'm optimistic, but I'm guarded as heck because I really don't think this brother is there for the betterment of Jackson State.
Right.
I'm optimistic that I'm hoping that I'm wrong.
I feel you. Let's get on to the sports side, man, because we could go all. I know we can go all day talk about presidents and stuff.
Hey, them girls got to hit some free throws, Doc. Damn what? You got them. Hey, they gonna everywhere we go now, Doc. They gonna put on the line.
Oh yeah. Shout out to Coach Tamika Reed and the Jackson State women for winning against Southeastern Louisiana today. 64. Was it 60? Was it 64 to 53?
It was a 9-point victory.
Right. Okay. So 63 is 54. Shout out to Coach Reed. 3-0. 3-0 on the women's side. Right now for the men is 1-5. Looking at this game, I'm taking a look at this game. Y'all, literally, Oregon is at FAMU right now. Mr. Ford? Mr. Ford,
that's correct. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, they playing at FAMU.
Yeah, I think they coached at FAMU. Wasn't he at Oregon at one time? I thought he was an assistant at Oregon.
Okay. Now, if he was an assistant at Oregon, that's cool.
Yeah, just look him up. I think he was an assistant at one time at Oregon.
Okay. Oregon is up by one against FAMU right now.
Right.
2 minutes left in the first half.
Hey, Doc.
Yeah.
Is this the SWAC Pac-12 challenge?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's my
This
question.
is the SWAC Pac-12 challenge.
How did Jackson, which is probably was the most well-known SWAC basketball on the women's side, how did we not get selected for that SWAC Pac-12 challenge? How did the selection process come about?
I wouldn't even know how that would go about. I would have to ask people. I would have to ask one of my higher ups how did that go about. More likely, I have to ask Andrew Roberts or Dr. McClellan how they go about, because I think, well, because of the simple fact next year the Pac-12 is going to be, you know, it's going to cease to exist.
Right.
And
right.
I wish we would, you know, as far as women goes, I wish they would have went into the Pac-12, you know, that
And
that's
so we
what Pac-12.
okay. Okay. Sonic Boom
Uh,
last year.
yeah. So yeah, man. Talk about the SWAC championship game. It's a rematch from October 28th. We got FAMU versus Prairie View. So we got it's a 6 degrees of separation for Willie Simmons. As everybody know, Willie coached at Prairie View before he went over to FAMU. And on his staff, he had Eric Dooley as his offensive coordinator. And as his DC, he had Bubba McDowell. Of course, Eric Dooley took over after Willie went over to Tallahassee to take over FAMU. And then
Wait. You said Willie was his. Wait a minute. You said that Dooley was Willie's offense coordinator?
Yeah.
No, Dooley came from Grambling.
You sure? Because I thought he was already on the staff.
No, he was not on the staff. He came from Grambling. He was the offensive coordinator for Favre.
Okay, he was for Roger
Favre. Yeah.
Okay.
And his I'm trying to think, on that staff at Prairie View was KJ Black, that guy that was a defense coordinator, Ralph Street. That was a defense coordinator. But
then
Dooley came from Grambling.
Yeah, so when Dooley came in, Bubba McDowell was defensive coordinator.
Yeah, Bubba, he was on the staff. But I think Ralph Street was a defensive coordinator. Because he took him with him to Florida A&M. Now, he eventually left and went to Marshall, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he went to Marshall.
But hey, look, you got look, McDowell, you know what I'm saying, in 2 years, missed out on the SWAC championship, you know, going to the SWAC championship game last season, on the final game of the season, as always, going up against Willie Simmons, who pretty much since he has been a head coach, the man ain't had a losing season since. We talk about it at two schools. We talk about it at Prairie View and at FAMU. The man ain't had not now losing season since he been a head coach. Since he been a head coach at FAMU, he had one season where he did not win more than 7 games. And that was his first year at FAM. We went 6-5. Everything else, the man has went 9-2, 9-3, and was it 9-2, 9-3, 9-2, and right now he at 10-1.
So he could end up what, 12-1?
He could end up at 12-1. Now, I did ask him a question early today about his players, you know, not looking ahead towards the Celebration Bowl, because, you know, a lot of players do, you know, they tend to do that. And be, you know, just to be kind of look forward to the game next week. He just told me, like, he just said we don't try to look ahead. We try to keep them grounded and focused. We look at each game. We look at every week, each game of the week, and tend to focus on that, which I did like the answer from. Now, hopefully Prairie View done changed up some things from this last game, because in that second half they got ran out the building at Bragg. And of course with FAMU, nobody has beaten the team at Bragg Stadium in 5 years? if they continue on next Saturday, I think it'll be a 20-game win streak at home.
So, Doc, when Jackson State beat them at Bragg, what year was that? Jackson State beat them at their place. It may have been farther back than 18.
It was
that guy, that defense coordinator that beat him, wasn't it? Or was it Tony Hughes?
It might have been like a 7-6. It was a 7-6. It was a 7. It was an ugly game, but we got them at their place.
Yeah, I'm trying to say, was that what's his name? Hendricks, or was it Tony Hughes?
It was 2018. It was John Hendricks.
It was Hendricks, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was John Hendricks. So, yeah, but that's I think that's the last time they lost the game.
If I'm McDowell, Doc, I'm gonna make this the ugliest football game you ever seen. I'm gonna cut down the number of possessions that fam have the ball. It's gonna be ugly. Conley left, right, Caleb Johnson, the other running back. We're gonna look like the Baltimore Ravens when Trent Dilfer was the quarterback. That's your only chance. You got to cut down fam number of possessions and hope they make some crazy mistakes in the second half. Take the crowd out of it.
Yeah, I would see that, but I still say, it's next week be my first time ever going to Bragg Stadium, so I get to see and kind of experience that mystique as far as good football being played. Blue just be ruining everybody prediction. Blue said fan by 30 plus again.
Is PV bringing their band, Doc? Do you know?
I think because the conference paid for it since it's a championship game.
The band may make a difference as opposed to the first time. I don't think the band traveled.
No, they didn't.
The band may make a slight difference.
And having a crowd there will make a difference too. So I've already my mom already called me this morning, and Trayvon's grandmother called her because, like I said, they both they best friends. She was like, "Hey, you got enough room for one more," so she wants to go see her grandson. Play in in the championship game. So we shall see when this game come around. We gonna talk some more about this game because I'm trying to get some more X's and O's about this.
It should be a sellout. That game should be a sellout. They should get at least 21,000 up in there.
Oh yeah, and probably more standing around on the side too.
Or outside. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That game should be a sellout. That's a SWAC championship game. That game should be a sellout.
Yep. Yep. Man, he said people need to hope for bad weather.
I mean, it just going down, dog. I mean, because what's the guy name? The receiver Riley and the other one Rashid.
Fareed, yeah.
And listen, when they get the roll, those are the X factors right there.
Yeah, I need that.
But those guys are the X factors, Riley and Rashid.
I just say hopefully they look at the film and see what happened. You got, like you said, limit the possessions and keep the offense off the field, keep the defense on the field more. So you like you said, you kind of have, in PB's case, you got to play an ugly game to not get destroyed by by 40.
And you got to hope that Musa has a bad game.
That is correct.
If he has a bad game, because to me, He wasn't outstanding to me Saturday. I mean, they beat Bethune, but he wasn't outstanding.
He had his usual Musa day.
Yeah.
Not. I mean, he had his usual Musa day. So I don't think. I just think like you just got to get pressure on them. Like I said, limit the possessions. Get pressure on Musa. Don't try to neutralize either Riley or Sheree. And just make the game, like you said, just kind of make the game ugly to the point where it's like you watching 1950s football.
Right. Doc, what do you think about if PV utilized some of what Texas Southern did against FAM in Houston? I think they played 6 DBs that game.
Mm-hmm.
When a 3-man front. Now, that gave FAM trouble in the first half, and they went down in the second half and they didn't score, and that kind of flipped it for them. But whatever they were calling that first half defensively was you just kind of just throw some stuff against the wall on Saturday. But I think that 6 DB thing that Texas Southern did kind of gave them some trouble. Willie went in and made some adjustments.
He made some adjustments at halftime, and then they came out rolling in the second half.
Right.
And then again, we still talk about Texas Southern in that game right there because it was games that they played in this season where they could have won the game, especially when they played Brittany. Go back to game, first game of the season, playing PV. When you had PV down by at least almost 3 touchdowns, and then you let them come back.
Yeah,
and that's the crazy thing. Jump off the championship game, Mr. Ford, Mr. Brown. How can you start? If I'm Texas Southern, how can you start your season giving up a lead, and in your season giving up a lead, and not just in your lead, a 2-touchdown lead, getting out of the first game of the season, last game of the season.
But that's why that change was made.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's almost as if the D coordinator and McKinney and that third, fourth quarter, like they just hit the auto mode button and just go to sleep. That game against UAPB on Saturday, I was like, this. Somebody got some money on the line at Vegas. I couldn't believe that. I just couldn't.
Are you a Texas Southern graduate? Are you a Texas Southern?
He Jackson State.
He Jackson State. But I was going to ask him who would be some of the people he would recommend to be head coach at Texas Southern.
Well, I'm not familiar with the high school staff in the Houston like that. But what I said to Doc was because I would love, if I'm Texas Southern, I want to keep Andrew Body on my team because I feel if I can keep Body, I can keep some of my other pieces out of the portal. So I would hire someone that's definitely offensive minded, but at the same time, bring in someone with extensive high school experience and coaching contacts throughout the state to kind of be like maybe my operations guy. Just not let him be maybe in so much in a coaching capacity, but from a relationship building standpoint, to get some of those recruits in the state of Texas that you haven't been getting up until now,
Right.
Offense with the hire.
Update right now in the SWAC. Bethune-Cookman men's is up by 7 with 15 seconds left in the game against Charleston Southern. It's 78-71 right now. Bethune got the lead.
That's Coach Reggie Theus.
I haven't even checked the MEAC for basketball. Let's see.
So, Doc, who you think Texas Southern? You think they're gonna go the celebrity coach way?
No. No. On the real, I've been I put this out there. They have to get somebody from within. Now, I wouldn't say from within. They would have to get somebody from the high school ranks, because to me, when it comes down to it, it's like, who better knows the kids in the state of Texas than the high school coaches? You know what I'm saying? We got so many D1 programs in the state. It's unfathomable, and with Texas Southern, you recruiting between Beaumont, Nacogdoches, Huntsville, of course, Prairie View. You go to San Antonio to either UTSA or Incarnate Word. Of course, you're gonna go to Austin because that's where the big dogs at. University of Texas. Texas A&M is another hour and 20 minutes up the road from you. Then 4 hours up the road is all the schools in the DFW area. TCU, SMU, UNT, Baylor, and Waco. Like, that you going up against them dogs right there. But in order for you to build a winner, you got to go for. I think they need to go somebody that's from the high school ranks. I did put 3 people out there. I said Claude Matthews from DeSoto High School. I said Jason Todd from South Oak Cliff, and then the godfather of high school football in the state of Texas, Reginald Sample. But I don't think Coach Sample is going to leave Duncanville. I don't think he's leaving Duncanville no time soon. But he has done a lot with less at his 2 previous stops before he got to Duncanville, at Lincoln High School and at Skyline. It went from being no names, nobodies, to basically perennial powers when he was the head coach at both of those schools. I would say, Jason Todd fits the bill because, one, he's a Texas Southern alum, and then 2, he played under Coach Sample when he was at Lincoln. He was on Coach Sample's staff where he had both Lincoln and Skyline before he took over the helm at South Oak Cliff. And then also
South Oak Cliff won the state last year in the other division.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And they on the roll. They on the roll again too this season. And it's like Blue was telling us. I've heard they was on FBS Fridays with Kobe this past Friday, and if you don't have a relationship with these coaches in the state of Texas,
right,
they're not gonna let you in the door. They're not gonna let you in the door. So you gotta have you got to have the relationship with these coaches in the state. And if you don't have a good relationship with these coaches, they're not gonna let you into inside. Claude Mathis rarely sends kids to HBCUs, and I'm surprised he sent a couple of them to Mississippi Valley. One of them is Jackson Davis, who's a tight end. Shoot, as a freshman, he led. I think he led the conference.
He's getting some burn.
Yeah, he led the conference in receiving yards as a tight end from Mississippi Valley. So, to me, you got to be one of them guys that just know the area and know the state, and got to be buddy with these folks at these high schools. Are you going to get a kid from Aledo to come to Texas Southern? No. But you can go to Alta to the east side and get somebody from Reagan, or you can go to or you can go over to Fort Bend County to Marshall to get somebody from over there. You get somebody from North Shore. You get somebody from you got somebody from Manville. He's your lead rusher in school history, and Ladarius Owens.
So, Doc,
Get somebody.
It's going to be a hire from within the state with Texas roots. Huh?
Got to be. Can't have no outsiders. You got to learn. To me, you got to know this state.
Okay.
You got to know this state. And even Dr. Cavill, like if Bubba McDowell would not even got that job if he didn't know this state, and he been living in the state since he played for the Oilers. You had to have that connection in this state in order for you to get these kids to come to your school.
So now you think if you could convince the guy from Duncanville to come, that rejuvenates the program, you think?
It rejuvenates the program, but the only thing about it is Coach Sample is a Prairie View grad.
Okay, gotcha.
No, but like I said, with Coach Sample, he ain't leaving Duncanville. That man is number one in the nation for a reason. With his football squad, he got the team, and I don't see, like I said, I don't see him leaving, but I see those other two being looked at. I see those other two being get interviewed. I don't know who would actually get the job though, but I to me, I want to see in my perfect world, I want to see Coach Todd win his third state championship at South Oak Cliff, and then become the head coach over at Texas Southern.
Okay.
And Mr. Ford, I know I already said the prayer. Keep Chennisberry over in South Carolina. That man don't need to come.
I doubt that, man. Somebody gonna get that, bro.
That man don't need to come to Southern.
He gonna come somewhere. If it ain't Southern, he going somewhere.
Keep him at Benedict. If he go to South Carolina State, they chunk him some money. He can go over there, but don't bring that man to the SWAC West. I don't want to see him. I don't have to deal with that man right there. Yeah, Mr. Dr. Finn, you got, sometimes you got to teach class up in here about Texas high school football. It's a whole, to me, it's like a whole course. It's like a whole course, like, and like what Blue said, a lot of, like, Jimbo Fincher at Texas A&M, he lost a whole bunch of credibility when he did not want to recruit these kids in the state of Texas.
Well, I know TC look like we done found us a good honey hole there in Louisville.
Oh yeah. Like I said, with Ethan and the Davis brother, they locked in to Jackson State. But TC has been in Texas. They've been in Texas doing recruitment, and a lot of SWAC coaches, have been in the state of Texas doing recruitment and getting kids to leave out of the state. I know Dr. Cavill don't want all of our kids to leave out of the state, but I just want them to be go out there and be seen, because they can get on the Power 5 or G5 level in the state of Texas, and they can go into obscurity. Right. I just want our kids to be seen here from the state. Oh, hold on now. Mr. Ford, Blue said Texas A&M might be hiring Jeff Traylor from UTSA. That's a good coach right there, though. He's a great coach. He's a great coach. He coached G.J. Kinney in high school at Gilmer. That man has won state at Gilmer High School, and he took over UTSA and turned them into a power. So Hopefully he can get that relationship back with the state of Texas and the high school coaches if he does get at Texas A&M. It is what it is, man. But other than that, I know tomorrow I got my my top 10 poll, my top 10 ranking tomorrow evening. And then we'll see we'll see what's up with these transfer portal because it's jumping right now. It's jumping right now. I know Mr. Ford. Hey, Mr. Ford, you there? You there? Uh-oh.
Doc, I'm here. I'm just running a little errand. I'll be right back.
All right, but I'm about to end the show off anyway, man.
Okay.
I appreciate you coming on.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
All right, now, man. Look, is this Alcorn house? I gave y'all props. I gave you props on G Show last night. Y'all did what y'all did. Y'all won. Come on, see. Come on now. But appreciate everybody for joining. I love the panel that I had tonight on the show tonight. And as always, man, if you want to, make sure y'all go ahead and hit that Cash App donation. Just hit the donation button so we can get all this stuff. We are extending this to the end of the week so we can actually get going down to Tallahassee next week, y'all. So we got to get the gas money and everything. We got to get the gas money and everything. But anyway, yeah, y'all did get lucky. But but as always, man, if you want to hit the Cash App, you can also hit the PayPal, you can get the Zelle, or you can hit the Super Chat. PayPal, Zelle info is down on the ticker below. The Cash App, you see it on the screen, and also with Super Chat, you just do it through the chat, and that's how we get everything done. So but other than that, I'm gonna say it like this: both teams finished 7-4. Both teams are sitting at home on the couch. So like I said yesterday in my prayer, Alcorn has several seats on the couch. What's going on, Jay Blue? Have several seats on the couch. Y'all sitting at home just like we sitting at home. Just like the other 10 teams sitting at home, y'all sitting at home with us. But one more thing I want to get out, I want to say and get this off my chest. And I think we said this before. For the folks that stay in Jackson, for the folks that actually go to school at Jackson State, we do not control what the city does for us, for Jackson. We do not control what happens in Jackson. We don't control none of that. Only thing we control is how we live our life and how we go about our business. I get tired of seeing people who don't want to take, who don't know how to roast anybody and say and call us pothole state. We had no control over that. At all. We had the people, the citizens, the citizens of Jackson, Mississippi has no control over potholes. They had no control over the water. They had no control over trash. They had no control over anything. Only thing we control is try to get people, better people in position within our government. And I look at on Twitter, every time I see it on Twitter, is, you know, we could talk noise. We could talk noise. And we probably done said something that struck a nerve with you. But then somebody gotta pull out the potholes. You know, let's leave that as it is. Oh no, yeah, you can shake it. Shake the table. And we can ignore those clowns. But like I said, for the folks that live in Jackson, that work in Jackson, that's from Jackson, that's Jackson through and through. We don't have control over structural damage to the streets. We don't have control over structural damage to our water, to the water system. We don't have control over it. Any of that stuff. Only thing we have control over is how we live our life. And basically just live out, live our life to the fullest. And you know, it is true. It's like making a joke about Flint, you know, and the issues that they had going on, where it affected hundreds of thousands of people there. So I say this when you know, I don't call nobody out by no name. And if, you know, if persons feel offended about what I say, so be it. I'm a big guy. I'm a grown man. I can deal with, you know, the criticism and the backlash from what I have to say. What makes you better than the folks in Jackson? What makes you better than the folks in Mississippi? What makes you better than anybody here in the South? Cause when I look at it on Twitter and stuff like this, you're not better than nobody in that state. You're not better than nobody in that county. You're not better than nobody in that city. Only thing you probably got going for you, you probably got a couple of dollars in your pocket. You probably got a good old job. Probably got this, that, and the third. Probably got a wife or a husband and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, excuse my language, y'all, you still a nigga to these folks. And that's it. It is what it is. It is what it is. And so look at yourself and look at your own self in the mirror and ask yourself, am I better than most of these folks here? Or maybe look at yourself in the mirror and say, what can I do to help my people not live in a situation like they're living in now, right now, in the city, in the state? Jackson is the blackest city in America, y'all. And the people that run the state still call us niggas. They might not tell it to your face, but they doing it. They doing it indiscreetly by not funding our water situation, by not fixing our infrastructure, and by trying to kill out a city because they ain't the majority no more. Because I want to see when I get down to Tallahassee, and I told you it's been a minute since I've been to Tallahassee. I want to see how their infrastructure is. And I want to see if I got to call them Pothole A&M. I've been to Prairie View. It's in the middle of the country. And it has the most beautiful campus. It's a beautiful campus. I've been to Tuskegee. I've been to Alabama State. I've been to Grambling. I've been to Southern. I've been to Alcorn, Valley, Pine Bluff, Texas Southern. Shoot, I've even been to Fayetteville State, Shaw. I've been to some good HBCUs. They in the city, they got a flaw to it, but I'm not gonna go out there and disparage the city or the school by calling it a name where people just don't have they don't have control over it. So when we on Twitter and stuff like that, I can go on there. Y'all can crucify me. I don't care. But I got a crew that gonna back me up. I get on there. You know what I'm saying? Just have some dignity and decency. If we talking about sports, when it come to sports, you know what I'm saying? Y'all can talk about, man, Deion left y'all in the dust. Okay, so what? He said he 4-7, so it doesn't matter to me. We 7-4. We had a better season than he did this year. But That's my side rant. Just think about what you say, man, and just think about the people that when you say something like that, who it affects. That's all I'm saying. Because like I said, at the end of the day, they still don't matter if you a YouTube creator like me. It don't matter if you in TV, radio, whatever. It don't matter if you the CEO, the CFO, the COO. It doesn't matter if you the president of the United States. They're still gonna call you a nigga. That includes my TED talk for today. But anyway, man, I'm just putting just out there, y'all. I'm just putting it out there. So when you see foolishness like that, just counteract it. And if they feel like they can't, they don't know how to talk noise, I'll go for the jugular. I kill it with kindness, but then again, I'd rather kill an act with a sledgehammer. Keep it sports, man. Keep it sports. That's all you need to do. If we talk about sports, we talk about sports. When we talk about education, we talk about education. But don't put sports and education with the plight of a city that we have no control over. And thank you to my moderator, Miss Whitley Claire, for letting me speak this into existence. But anyway, y'all, appreciate everybody for jumping on. Like I said, let's get this cash. Let's get these donations going in. Let's get it rolling. Let's get it rolling. We'll be back on tomorrow at 7 o'clock with my top 10 live. Also, we'll be back on here. I'm trying to do shows every week, every day of this week. Midday live on Wednesday before I roll into work. Thursday is Thanksgiving. Y'all make sure y'all handle y'all business on that dinner table, because it is what it is. I'm gonna get fat and greasy. Everybody enjoy themselves this week for Thanksgiving. And then we got football coming on, NFL, college, name it, is there here in Texas. We got high school football in the playoffs. We into the third round right now. Shout out to Duncanville, shout out to DeSoto, shout out to South Oak Cliff, and shout out to my alma mater, Cedar Hill. We all in the third round of the playoffs. That's pretty much it, y'all. But this has been HBCU Tonight, episode 54. We are halfway to getting to that 100, and y'all encourage me to keep doing that because I love y'all. And if it wasn't for y'all, I wouldn't be doing this right here. Yeah, shout out to Alcorn too, the damn Braves. But it's to me, it's a family thing. You know what I'm saying? Cousin played at Alcorn, had some old cousins that went to Alcorn. It is what it is. It is what it is. Make sure that you like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you become a member of the hottest HBCU podcast that's out there. I'm your boy, Doc Holliday, the voice of HBCU culture. This is HBCU Overdrive, where HBCUs matter. Again, hit that notification bell to get everything HBCU Overdrive. We'll be back on the stage tomorrow evening at 7 p.m. for the top 10 live. You never know. I might have somebody new at the top. You never know. But if you want to know, you got to tune in to find out. Okay, make sure you look at your local listings on YouTube. I'm doing this like the TV commercial, but as always, man, much love to everybody. Be blessed, stay safe, hug your loved ones, because as always, man, one day you're here, and the next day you're gone. We out this thing until tomorrow. Peace.